Thanks for joining us, everybody. Today is the day we talk about marketing your home care business from startup to seasoned. I'm so glad you could join us. We had lots and lots of folks sign up for this. Very excited to present this to you. And I am Valerie Van Booven. If we haven't met before, welcome to the webinar. I have a couple of other things I'd like for you all. If you have you're looking at a computer screen and you have a phone, you're going to want to take a screenshot of this. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Take a screenshot of this. A couple of things I wanted to point out to you, and then I'll talk about the agenda a little bit. This is our website address, asnmarketingplan.com. We also have a free download. And as we talk about marketing, this might be helpful to you. Of course, my mouse is very sensitive. Download the 12,000 holiday celebration list. Go to bit.ly/2022 calendar ASN. So you might want to snap a picture of this instead of trying to write it down. Also, if you are new to us and you have never done this before, if you're our client, by the way, this is already done for you, so you don't have to do it. You can get a free listing on our website, approvedseniornetwork.com/join. If you do that, what will happen is we'll set you up with a free listing. You can get all kinds of free cool stuff. You'll get an email that'll tell you how to view it all and how to use Approved Senior Network as a directory listing. And then we also have tomorrow, we have the Home Care Marketing Mastermind every week on Friday. If you're our client, it's free. If you are not our client, then there is a monthly fee. It's just a tiny fee. And you can go to bit.ly/HCM2022 /HCM2022. When you go there, it'll give you a list of all the things that we do, what we talk about, and a join if you want to join us. If you don't, that's okay too. But we meet every Friday at 12 noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And what we do is we talk about marketing, caregiver retention, caregiver recruiting, all the things that everybody's talking about right now. There are seasoned home care agency owners on that call, and there are brand new home care agency owners on that call, and everybody in between. So feel free to join us. It's a great group. And all of the replays for all the videos that we've done with that group from January on are all in our little private area that you get access to. So you can see all of those as well. So that's my little commercial. Take a little snap picture of this and feel free to join us. And of course, I'm sure you can hear the dogs barking. The mowing people decided to show up today and mow the grass. So the dogs are going crazy. Sorry about that. Hopefully they're done now. Okay, so on our agenda today, we're going to talk about what seasoned home care agencies should be doing now. And this is for those of you who are at the 5+, 10+, 20+ years in business. We're going to talk about where to spend your marketing dollars today, regardless of your time in business. You're going to learn where you can save money, where you should spend, and where you should spend money for best-in-class marketing. Some things you can skimp on, some things you cannot. Clearing up misconceptions about marketing in online and in person. And we're going to talk about, finally, what startups should focus on in the first year in business. So we're going to cover all these things. But I will say this, it doesn't really matter where you are in business, whether you're a newbie or you've been around for 20+ years. Some of this is going to be a great new idea or adventure for you. So keep all of this in mind. And of course, when this webinar ends, I will be sending out the replay to all of you. So, and I'll also send the links from this screen, to you as well. Questions and answers, by the way. For questions and answers, let me just go here. I'm going to lower all attendees' hands. So for questions and answers, just type them into the chat or the Q&A. Let's see what we have here today. We have a Q&A section and we have a chat. If you type them into the Q&A section, as I go, I will take all the questions at the end and I will answer all of them. All right. So a little history about us. Approved Senior Network, myself, George Novison, and our team, we've been around since 2008. So we've been helping home care agencies and other senior care businesses market online for 15 years. 14 years, almost 15, I guess. And we have seen a lot of changes in that time. And we have worked with people from independent home care agencies to franchise owners, to other kinds of senior care providers who are in all different stages of their life, their business life, from beginning to end. So I'm just going to give you sort of our perspective on what we have seen and talked about and learned from best practices over the last 14 years. And of course, if you have any questions, like I said, put them in the Q&A section and I'll answer them as we go. All right. So for those of you who've been around the block a while, I would imagine by now, and this is when I talk to very successful home care agency owners, these are the things they know. They know their numbers. You should know your numbers. And by numbers, what do I mean? How many clients you have, how much revenue you have coming in, how many caregivers you have, numbers in, numbers out. Where are your leads coming from? All the numbers that matter when you're running a home care business. You should know where your business is coming from, like the zip codes, the locations, the people. Where are you getting most of your business? You should know who your referral sources are. And if you've been around for a while, you know who your referral sources are, who your guaranteed referral sources are. And you probably have a wish list of people you wish would refer to you. You know who your competition is and how they work. You know your best combination of services. So you know that live-ins if you do offer live-in, live-ins make more money than, or more revenue for you than hourly. Or that your best package is helping people who are discharging from the hospital and everything that comes with that. So your best combination of services and hours and things like that. And your weaknesses. Once you've been in business 5 years, you definitely know your weaknesses and your staffing limitations. And of course, that's gotten even crazier in the last few years. But that you'd love to serve more zip codes, but you can't staff those zip codes right now, perhaps, or those counties. So what your staffing limitations are. And that it might be time to change a few things. And that's the value and the good news about being in business for a while is you can recognize when things really do need to change, or you need to just, get a little creative, go a different direction, do something new, or try something you haven't tried in several years. I can honestly say that some things that people may have tried 5 years ago work way better now in terms of online marketing than they used to. So we'll talk about that. All right. So for all of you seasoned home care agency owners out there, we're going to talk about online marketing and offline marketing. In terms of online marketing, once you've been around the block for a while, I want you to think about your website. How old is it? It seems like you just had it built yesterday, but it's actually like 3 years old. So, and that might not seem old, but in terms of technology, it is old. And I say that because we've been building websites all these years. And we have websites that we have built from 2014, and they need to be rebuilt. They are simply too old and need to be redone. The look and feel needs to be updated. The technology on the back end, even if it's a WordPress website, you may be keeping up with all of the plugin changes and things like that, but there's so many vulnerabilities and things that slow a website down that the way we used to build them are completely different than the way we would build one today. So if your website is more than 2 or 3 years old, or maybe you've had staff changes, you got some old pictures up there that you need to take down. Maybe you've had some system changes. You're using third-party apps for certain things, and your website is not linked to them correctly or using them correctly. Maybe it looks outdated. Maybe your website acts outdated. Maybe it's missing images, or it's slow to load, or it doesn't look good on mobile at all. Maybe it does look bad on mobile. Have you looked at your own website on a mobile device? Are things like out of place, or is there images missing? That needs to all be fixed. Maybe you've lost ranking on Google. Maybe there was a day when you knew you were on the maps or you were on the first page of Google, and now, no way, you're like third page. And I would ask yourself this question. Are you getting consistent leads from your website? Are people filling out a form or making a phone call to you from your website? Now, you'll know if people are filling out a form on your website, but I bet most of you don't know how many phone calls come in from your website. The only way to know that typically is to have a tracked and recorded line on your website. And we do that for our clients when they want a tracked and recorded line. So are you getting consistent leads from your website? That is one of those numbers that you should know. Are there old SEO practices? SEO is search engine optimization. The way we used to do things in 2012, 2015, even 2018 are different today. We are using search engine optimization in different ways behind the scenes, things that you probably will never see. But if you want to get to the first page of Google or back to the first page of Google, you need to know what today's practices are and what the best practices are, because they are definitely not the same as they used to be. Maybe you need some location pages to expand your reach. So if you're showing up really good for the city that your office is in, but you're not showing up for the surrounding areas that you serve, there are ways to fix that. You can have something called location pages, and there's more to that story. It's not just about flopping up a page, but it definitely is. There is the ability to expand your reach. Maybe you need long form service pages instead of just, oh, look at my typo, instead of just a bulleted list and a paragraph. What do I mean by that? When you look at your website and you look at the services that you provide, you have a page for your services. Some people have one page that describes all their services. Some people have a page for hourly care, 24-hour care, or companion care, or personal care, or whatever they want to call it. However, there's just a paragraph and a bulleted list, and that's it. That is what I mean by old SEO practices. That page needs to be written in long form. It needs to be completely written out, paragraph by paragraph. It needs to answer the right questions. It needs to tell Google in words who you are, what you do, and what your services you're providing. And those pages are very important. So long form service pages means the content is written out in long form. We're not just sticking with one little bulleted list and a paragraph. And that's what I see. And that's what we used to do all the time, is just do a paragraph and a bulleted list, because what else are you going to say? Well, guess what? There's actually a lot you can say. And so we have writers who write out those content pages so that you show up and Google likes you or likes your website a lot better. All right. Let's see. Let's make sure. Okay. So I see your questions and I will come back to those. All right. Online marketing, content matters. So big question for you, have been in business for a while. Do you have a blog? A blog is where you put articles that are related to, your services and, Alzheimer's care and Parkinson's care and things like that. Do you have a blog of articles about senior care, elderly care? Do you have unique content being added regularly? So if you have a blog there, when I see this a lot, and everybody's gung-ho at first and they're all, ready to go with the blog. But I look at it and I see that no one has posted since 2020. And so that needs to be fixed. If you have a website that you love and you want to keep it, you need to update the content. Google comes back to your website every time you add new content. And if that content is written the right way, Google's going to re-index your website to find out, did I miss anything else on this website, or is it just this page? So you're going to get more attention from Google when you have unique content being added regularly. Now, in a perfect world, you'd add a beautiful, amazing, engaging article, 3 times a week. But most of us don't have that kind of time or money, because that's not cheap. And most of us aren't writers. So at least twice a month, if not 4 times a month, you should have unique content being added to your blog or to your website. Do you engage with social media? So we have clients that are all over the map on this. Now we post to their social media for them 5 days a week. So that's no problem. But then we have some clients that are really engaged with Facebook, which, by the way, is your audience. Whether you like Facebook or not, that's where your audience is. So do you engage with social media? Do you post? Do you come out from behind your website? Do you show people that you are here, you are present, you are out in the community? Do you do those things? And if you do, that's awesome. If you don't, then you might consider hiring someone to help you with that because it does matter. People are looking at your website. They're vetting you. They're looking to see what kind of content you have. And if the last post that was on your Facebook page was in 2016, they're not going to be very impressed because your competition next door posts every day and they're all out there smiling and, wearing costumes and having fun with their colleagues and blah, 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 blah. So you don't have to go crazy, but posting regularly is really important. Are you on the right platforms for your audience? A platform, by that I mean Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. And I will say that Facebook and LinkedIn are still the 2 leaders for this market. They might not be interesting to you. They might not be interesting to a 12-year-old, or the 12-year-old probably shouldn't be on there anyway, to an 18-year-old, but that is your target market. Facebook is growing older by the day, the demographic. So you have your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s. You have grandma and grandpa who will get on Facebook and look at pictures of the kids, the grandkids that they live too far away to visit all the time. So you do have quite a nice audience on Facebook. On LinkedIn, that's where your referral partners live, your professional referral partners. So marketing to them and talking to them and connecting with them and starting a conversation with them on LinkedIn, that's where it's at. TikTok is a whole lot of fun. And you may not like TikTok at all. I have no idea. But I will say this. TikTok has taken off in different ways. And one of the ways that it's taken off is that it's not just for kids. If you know who Teepa Snow is, Teepa is one of the leading dementia trainers in the world, I would guess. And she's an older lady. She's lovely. She's been doing this a really long time. She teaches people how to care for folks with Alzheimer's and dementia. And she has a channel on TikTok. So you can go to TikTok.com and you can put in a search for Teepa Snow, Teepa Snow. And she has millions of views, hundreds of thousands of followers. This is no joke. And this is all she talks about is dementia training. And she does skits and she does funny things and she adds humor to it, but she's very sensitive also about it. TikTok is for everyone. And I'm not saying you need to go start a TikTok account just because I said it, but I would investigate it and just look at some of the videos. There are a lot of dementia focused channels or accounts on TikTok. YouTube is another one that we get a lot of views from YouTube. Our clients get a lot of views from YouTube. So that's another one that makes a lot of sense. And I know that all of this is overwhelming. So pick your platform. If it's just Facebook, just do Facebook. Facebook and LinkedIn are the 2 winners in this category for home care. So focus on those. Do you have a monthly newsletter that goes out regularly? Some people will say, oh, people don't like to get email. They just kind of spam. They don't like it. If you send out, and I don't mean if you wish you send out, if you actually send out a newsletter every single month, and we do this for our clients, so that's how we know, you will increase your revenue. I'm not saying, I don't know by how much, but you would see if you started a newsletter January 1st of this year and did it all the way through December 31st, once a month, so 12 newsletters and you looked at your revenue and all the other things being equal, your revenue would have increased over the year before just because of your newsletter, not by thousands and millions of dollars, but by a couple of clients. So why not send out 12 newsletters a year? You should have a monthly newsletter that goes out, or hire somebody to do it for you. Do you create videos? That goes back to our TikTok and our YouTube. Some people will never create a video in their entire life, and I get that, and it's okay. But if you like creating videos, or you think you might like creating videos, or you're not camera shy, then start creating videos. We're talking really small, short videos. Under 3 minutes is good. So a video that answers the question, what is home care? What services do you provide? Keep it simple. Do one frequently asked question per video. Make sure your audio and your lighting are awesome. So if you can see me, you can see that I have a light shining right on my face. The light is not coming from behind me. It's shining right at me, at my face. And that's how you should have your lighting. You can also see maybe this. There's my microphone. You don't have to pay a lot of money for microphones. You don't have to pay a lot of money for lighting. You can get a cheap microphone and a cheap light on Amazon, and you can create videos. And you can just be you, or you in a PowerPoint like I'm doing now, and just talk about frequently asked questions. Keep it simple, keep it short. Do you have a podcast? And everybody's like, oh, everybody's got a podcast. Well, so what? Maybe you should have one too. So podcasting, that just requires the microphone piece and not so much the camera. We do a netcast. I call it a netcast because we interview people on camera, and we also talk into a microphone, and then we upload it to our podcast channels, and we use it on YouTube, and we make it a blog post. There's so much that you can do today, and it doesn't take, gobs and gobs of money or gobs and gobs of equipment. So for those of you who have been in the business for a while and you know your stuff, this might be a new adventure for you. It might be something you want to try. If you are brand new to this business, it doesn't hurt to go ahead and add some of these things, because over the years, when you look back, you'll be glad you did. Videos and podcasts. So what is your content strategy, and do you have one? Once you've been around the block for a while, it's important to know what holidays you're going to celebrate, what healthcare celebrations you're going to, like for instance, National Nurses Week coming right up, May 6th. Woohoo! Have you prepared for that? If you've been in business a while, you know that National Nurses Week, or whatever Nurse Week, is coming up May 6th-ish, where, first full week of May. And you know that everybody drops off trinkets and says, thank you for being a nurse, and post something on social media. You've been around a while. You know this happens. So today is the day that you need to decide what you're going to do. Well, actually, you probably should have decided that in January, but you need to have a content strategy. What are you going to do? What are you going to say? Are you going to take some pictures? Are you going to post them on Facebook? Are you going to write a blog post or have someone else write one for you? What are you going to do that has to do with Nurses Week? Your referral partners will be happy that you're celebrating Nurses Week with them. It's an important, one of the many that are important. So do you have a content strategy? You should have one. All right, so let's keep going here. And don't forget, if you have questions, put them in the Q&A section down below, and I will answer your questions at the very end. All right, for you who are seasoned, what about paid advertising? Are you using Google Ads? Have you used them and gotten burned maybe? Are you using Facebook ads? Are you doing this yourself or with a professional? Do you see a return on investment? Again, know your numbers. Do you know your numbers? That's my next bullet point. If you're going to run ads, you need to know how many leads came in and how many closed. Did they come in by phone? Did they come in by form? Did you talk to them on the phone? Did they close? Are they, what is it? So know your numbers. Are you using a landing page to run Google ads? Let's say you're running a Google ad. Are you using a landing page where people go straight to a certain page on your website? that's designed for lead capture, or are you just running ads to your homepage? There's a hint there. Don't run them straight to your homepage. Is your homepage a good lead generator? Most of them aren't. That doesn't mean they all aren't, but most of them aren't. You need a little landing page that's just specific to your Google Ads. Are you spending too much on Google Ads? Or are you spending too little on Google Ads? If you are in New York City, you are not going to get any leads for $300 a month on Google Ads. You have to spend way more than that to get a return on investment that's worthwhile. So if you work with a professional or set of professionals who understand home care and understand Google Ads, then you'll know how much you need to spend. Typically, for most of our clients that run these kinds of ads, if they're not in Manhattan or Los Angeles or Miami, they can get away with $600 a month, maybe. Sometimes they need to spend $1,000 a month, but you don't have to spend $10,000 a month on Google Ads in order to get leads. Are you closing leads? Closing a lead means a lead calls in and says, "Hey, I'm interested in your services for my mom." And you are a great closer, meaning you got this. You're going to make sure that person you get an appointment with that person in their home before you get off the phone to set up an assessment time, and you're closing leads. Some people are great closers. They're just naturally very talkative and animated, and they're great with selling, and they're compassionate on the phone, and they totally get it. And some people are not good closers. It's not because they might be good at something else, but they're just not good salespeople. I'm like that. I'm not great at closing. I'm not a good salesperson, but I do like doing this part. I like the education, but I'm not a closer. So are you closing leads? If you're not, then you might not want to do paid ads right away, because you could get a lot of great leads and then none of them close. So think about it. Use an honest assessment of your skills, self-assessment. And then, are you listening to phone calls? So here's another piece of the puzzle. When you're doing paid ads, at least in our case, we always use a tracked and recorded line for this. And that way I can tell you how many leads came in via phone. You can listen to those calls. Maybe it's you answering the phone every time, or maybe it's somebody else in your office answering the phone. If it's somebody else, or maybe multiple somebody else's, just depending on who's available, you're going to want to know how that call went. Trust me when I say it is an eye opener when you listen to phone calls. It's an eye opener. It's a learning experience. Yeah. So I would suggest to you that if you do Google Ads or even Facebook, that you definitely record the calls that come in from that phone number and make sure you're listening back to them. What can we do better? How could we have been a better, more compassionate person? How could we have slowed down our talking? How could we have listened better? What could we do differently next time we answer the phone? Everybody can learn from recorded phone calls. All right, so that is my recommendation on paid ads. Okay, let's talk about buying leads. For those of you who've been around the block, some of you have probably already tried buying leads, and maybe you buy them all the time. Maybe you tried it and it was a burn. I don't know. So the question I would have for you is, are you closing those leads? Same question I just asked. If you're going to buy them, you need to make sure you're good at closing them, because otherwise you're just wasting your money. Are they exclusive leads, or are they shared lead? An exclusive lead means they only go to you. No one else is going to get this lead. That's what the way in the slide before, that's how Google Ads is. They are exclusive to you. If they're shared leads, that means the cost might be lower, but that lead is going to 5 or 6 other people in your local area, 5 or 6 other businesses who are also trying to close that lead. So whoever calls first is going to get that person's attention. Or the 5th caller may be the person, you may be the person that gets the annoyed consumer who has just been called and texted by 6 other people. So it just depends on the situation. But just know that there are shared and exclusive leads when you buy them. Is it worth the investment? So this goes back to my last bullet point. Do you know your numbers? If you took a look at all the leads that came in from that lead service over the last 30 days, how many of them closed? How many of them were not even worth calling back? How many of them, did you get business from? So those are the things that you need to know. And that'll tell you whether or not it's worth continuing down that road. Do you have a follow-up system in place? So if you are buying leads, let's say you've talked to many people who are lovely, but they're just not ready to pull the trigger. They're still kicking the tires. Do you have a follow-up system in place? That means that you're sending out a monthly newsletter. You're sending out an automated set of emails that goes out to them every 3 days and lets them know, hey, we're here. If you decide that you want to start services, here are some frequently asked questions that we can answer for you. We're just checking in to make sure you're okay, because that sometimes a lead will start researching, an adult child will start researching home care options, and it might be another 3 months before mom falls and breaks her hip or has a stroke or leaves the burner on too long. And that's the straw that breaks the camel's back, and they're in for home care. And it's a crisis now. So home care leads sometimes close fast. Sometimes it takes a few months. But if you continuously send them just a little bit of a drip of an email here and there, you will be top of mind the day grandma falls, and they'll be calling you. So make sure you have a follow-up system in place. Does your staff know how to close leads? So not only do you have that great skill of, putting somebody, getting an appointment to get in the house and do an assessment, but does your staff also know how to do that? Or does anyone on your staff know how to do that? And again, listen to the recorded phone calls. So if you do get recorded phone calls with the leads that you buy, you should listen to those calls. Very interesting. Don't forget, if you have questions, to put them in the little Q&A section and I will answer them. All right, in-person and offline marketing. Let's talk about this. Now, this is for our seasoned folks, but it could apply to anybody. By now, if you've been around the block and you're 5 years in, 10 years in, 20 years in, you're probably doing some community outreach events. What does that mean? That means that your town, your area agency on aging, your local senior independent living community hosts antique car day or a car show, or I don't know, it could be anything, a health fair, whatever. And you go and you participate and you help and you have goodies to give away and you're there to, be a part of it. And maybe you have to pay, or maybe it's free, you're volunteering, whatever. Community outreach events means that you are getting out there and being present with other communities to make them fun and engaging. You should be doing that, absolutely. Networking meetings. This could be a chamber meeting. This could be, the local social workers association meeting or the local long-term care association meeting. I don't know. There's tons of them around here. It could be a women's group, a business women's group that meets. It could be Rotary Club. Are you going to networking meetings? You never ever know where you're going to find a lead. Everybody has aging parents, right? So, or most of us do. So networking meetings are super important. Don't go to networking meetings if you're never, and you're pretty sure of this, you're never going to get a lead from it. If it's just there for chitty chat, lunch, and hoo-ha time, then pass on it. Okay, leave behinds for referral sources. All right, what is a leave behind? Some people will tell you that is a brochure and a business card. And I will tell you that is not a brochure business card. A leave behind is something that you have taken the time to craft or buy or whatever that is cute and makes sense for the month, the day, the year. So back on one of my first slides, I said there's a list of 12,000 celebrations that happen every year. There is a list there of all the celebrations. Some of them will never apply to you. Some of them are funny, like National Popcorn Day, National Coffee Day. Of course, you have your Mother's Day, you have National Nurses Week, you have your big ones. But you also have all kinds of cutesy little ones. The first day of spring, St. Patrick's Day. May is Older Americans Month coming up. May is, the nurses thing. May is Mother's Day. There's all kinds of little cute things you can do in May. So you can go online, and we have tons of examples of this. And you can see, and this is dollar store stuff. I'm not talking about going out and spending gads and gads of money on stuff, because you're not even supposed to be doing that. I'm talking about something super cute and little that, for instance, let's picture in your mind a little gardening spade. And it's just a little, it could be plastic. It doesn't have to even be real. It's just a little gardening spade. Maybe you get it from the dollar store in the kids section, and you tie a little ribbon on it, something simple and cute, and you attach your business card to that ribbon, and or a little thing. And it's on one side, it says, "Your referrals make my business grow," or "Thank you, your referrals make my business grow," or something like that. Get it? They're, growing spade, you're planting a garden. Maybe you attach a packet of seeds to it. I don't know. And that's it. That's the whole thing. And you leave them behind for the people that you want to connect with. So yeah, your business card's attached to it. Yeah, you do the same thing that everybody else in town does, but you're leaving behind something that's cute and memorable, and you took the time to do it, and it is appreciated. And if you do it more than once, or once a month, you're stopping by, National Donut Day, National whatever, Hot Dog Day, I don't know. You have to look at the list and pick out a few, plan ahead, order your stuff, or go to the dollar store and collect whatever it is you need for these things. Have a kid in the house or a teenager help you put them together. Put together 20 or 30 of your little cutesy items, and then on whatever day, go out and deliver them. So plan ahead, get these leave behinds ready, and stop and talk to the people, and make sure that you're talking to the gatekeeper. Talk to that lady that sits at the front desk. They are a wealth of information. And make sure you have a thing, one of the things that you're making, for her specifically, because she will remember that. So even if you can't get past her, make sure you have one that's specific to her, or an extra for her, even if, I don't know, whatever. So you could have a basket, or a little plastic bucket full of microwave popcorns and something, I don't know, for popcorn day. I mean, there's just so much you can do. So if you were to do a Google search for leave behinds for April 2022, you will get lists and lists of people, especially real estate agents, who do this all the time. And you can copy off what they do, just change the wording on their little messages so it doesn't say anything about buying a house. Obviously, yours is going to be about home care. Okay. Do you have a database? If you have any questions about that, about leave behinds, about where to go, what to do, put it in the little Q&A section there, and I'll answer that at the end. Database of referral sources. So every business card, every contact that you have in your phone, all of them should be in a database on your computer or on your phone, so that you can send out emails. You should be sending them that same monthly newsletter that you would send to anybody. You should send them at least once a month, maybe weekly, a personalized email that says, "Hey, Jane, it was so nice to see you last week. I hope you're doing well. Just want to let you know that we are available if you have any referrals." Blah, 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 blah. Thank you notes. If someone does something for you, or you're invited to something, send a handwritten thank you note, or stop by and drop off. It's another reason to stop by and say hi. A handwritten thank you note to that person. You don't have to go crazy and put gifts with it, just a thank you note. You should host CEU events. If you don't know what that is, nurses and social workers are always looking for continuing education credits or continuing education units. And we just have posted one for a home care agency today, as a matter of fact. It was about dealing with difficult clients, or aging adults, dementia, things like that. It's hosted by the home care agency. They have a doctor or social worker or somebody like that who's actually presenting. They applied to the state of Illinois for the CEU credit. Don't ask me how to do that. Every state's different, but it's easy to look it up. Google it. CEU credits, how to apply. The state says, yes, this is good for one CEU credit. This is virtual. It's online, so nobody has to go anywhere. You can do it as a brown bag lunch, get on Zoom, just like we're doing right now. And they get their little CEU credit at the end if they attended, and they need that for their licensure. So if you do a CEU event, you're going to get lots of professional designations showing up to your Zoom and it doesn't have to be you that's presenting. It could be somebody else that's presenting. So hosting a happy hour. Now that's a little bit more challenging. You could do a happy hour without alcohol in your office, or if you're the type that likes to do a happy hour at a local Mexican restaurant or something like that, you could do that. You could have an open house, remind people who you are and where you are. You could have a luncheon if you have a big enough office space, or you could host it somewhere else. There's all kinds of in-person, offline marketing things you can do. A brochure and a business card are not enough. They are great, but they are not enough. You have to do something that keeps you in their mind and makes you memorable. Be sure to stop and form a relationship with somebody. Don't just drop off your stuff and run. You need to stand there and talk for a minute. Of course, if they're busy, that might not work, but form relationships. Okay, let's talk about where to spend your marketing dollars today, regardless of your time in business. So new or old, here's where you should be spending your dollars. In-person networking and marketing. Now, this is more about your time than it is your dollars, but you're still spending dollars on gas and fees and, subscriptions to whatever, I don't know. But in-person marketing, that's definitely on the top of the list. What can you do to network with your community today? Online marketing, absolutely. Everybody right now and for a long time are going to be on this right here. This is where your referral sources are. This is where your consumers are. They're on your phone. If they look at your website and it is jank store on your phone, jank store means that they're going to move on. You should not judge a book by its cover. However, that is exactly what's going to happen. Please make sure that your online presence is up to date. It's 2022, and it reflects a professionalism and a compassion for seniors that they can see straight from going to your website. And it's also very easy to figure out how to contact you. So online marketing, absolutely. In-person marketing, absolutely. If you are, unless you've done this and there's success, I would tell you do not do TV. And the reason I say that is because, number one, it's very expensive. If you're in an election cycle or an election year, locally or even nationally, it's outrageous to advertise on TV. A lot of folks are not watching TV to find out the latest and greatest in home care. They're watching TV to escape their problems, not to address them. So if you have a cable station, they're like, oh, you should have your, older people watch the Golf Channel. You're never going to get a phone call from the Golf Channel or from the local, if you have a baseball team and a radio, just those people are trying to escape. They are not looking for solutions to their elder care issues. I would tell you no TV. Now, if you've got a great deal, it's a local station, there's somebody there that's amazing and everybody knows them in your whole community, it's a totally different story. That's up to you. Next is no excessive print. Now, do you need brochures and business cards? Absolutely, you do. But you do not need to spend thousands of dollars on direct mail, zero direct mail. And if you want to know why, I can tell you why. Just ask a question in the Q&A section. I would say if you're going to have brochures and business card printed, just do 100 or 200 at a time. Don't have thousands of things. You're inevitably going to change your address, change your phone number, change your logo, change your website address, or something's going to happen. And those are going to be useless to you. So just have small batches printed at a time. and don't go crazy. So newspaper ads, no, no newspaper ads. That is, you're never going to get anywhere with that. If it's your church bulletin and you're it's going toward, obviously to support your church or your neighbor's church or whatever, fine. You want to do something like that, that's great. Guess what? You're never going to get any business from it, but guess what? You just supported a great cause, and that's okay. Maybe they can have you come talk to their senior group one day about the benefits of home care. I don't know. No excessive print. Stop worrying about that. Unless it's something that every single other person in your community is in, don't do it. The booklets that go around that are senior living books or whatever they are, no. Don't do it. Okay, radio, only in certain circumstances. I am usually not a fan of radio. I have seen the following work. The following is this. There is a radio personality in your local area on an AM or FM talk station, or maybe it's a different oldie station, and everybody loves that person. And they do a lot of in-person appearances, and everybody loves them, and they're awesome, and blah, 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 blah. And they really have a great senior following, and they really have a great senior audience. And you have enough money to have them do what's called a live testimonial. Now, of course, they're probably recorded, so they're not live, but that means that radio personality during their broadcast is going to sing your praises about your business. And I would also recommend that if you're going to do that, that you do it at drive time in the evening. Drive time, talk radio or oldie station, a celebrity, a local celebrity who's very in with the senior population, doing a live testimonial for you. That is the only kind of radio I would suggest. Nothing else is going to work. It has to come from their mouth. They're saying that you're the best. And then I would say that might be worth it. But that's also the most expensive radio you could ever do, because every time they open their mouth, it's going to be $300 or $400. So that's the only radio I'd recommend. Okay, so now you're back to in-person marketing and online marketing. They're two most cost-effective, best ways, best investments in your business today, tomorrow, and for the rest of your business life. Okay, where can you save money versus always get best in class? Always invest in some things, but in other cases, you can save money. You can save money on leave behinds. I just talked about this. We're talking dollar store, oriental trading, cute, fun, and memorable, not expensive. Cute, fun, and memorable is the bomb. That is, and you trust me, there is so much cute, fun, and memorable stuff. You don't have to be crafty to do this. You can buy stuff that's already done, but it can be cheap. You can buy it in hordes off of oriental trading, dollar store stuff. Even remember I talked about TikTok. If you go to TikTok and type in dollar store crafts, not that anybody, I do not want to do dollar store crafts, but if you're into that kind of thing or your teenagers can help you, there are TikToks out the wazoo on dollar store crafting. So cute, fun, and memorable, no expensive stuff. People are not supposed to be accepting expensive gifts from you, and you should not be giving them. And gift cards are not a good idea because they can be construed as against the safe harbor laws. Look that up. Okay, save money on communications. Email follow-ups, CRMs, e-newsletters, you know the drill. You don't have to spend gazillions of dollars on fancy dancy e-newsletters and email follow-ups, CRM. We have a CRM that all of our clients can use for free. If they are using our services, they get the CRM for free. It's awesome. We set everything up. Your emails that you send out do not have to be amazing, colored, full, crazy email follow-ups. They can be very simple. In fact, they'll get past spam filters if they're very simple. Now, your e-newsletters, they need a little style, a little class. Constant Contact, MailChimp, the CRM that we have, all do that. Save money on print, but be careful about that. You do want to save money on print. Like, don't do dumb stuff like sending out direct mail to 100,000 people in your local area that's in color. Don't do stuff like that. It's not going to work. However, For your brochures and your business cards, print like 100 to 200 at a time, just so you have a nice stash. You don't want to go super cheap. There's nothing yuckier than a cheap business card or a cheap, just go standard, just go middle of the road on quality there. Don't go crazy, hyper, it's not gonna help you. So, but don't do a flimsy paper yucky looking thing either. Make sure it's professionally done, but don't go crazy. Okay, do not skimp on your online presence. A Wix website is not where it's at, friends. And I know some of you have Wix websites. I get it. Squarespace, Wix, Marketing 360, Livewire, GoDaddy. And I say that to you because I've been doing this for 14 years. You need to have a WordPress website that is hosted on super fast hosting, that is up to date, that that is actually going to generate leads for you. If Cousin Eddie built your website 3 years ago and now he's really not available to help you with updates and it looks terrible, get a new website. Cousin Eddie's out. You need to really take care of that. It's an investment in your business. It's a more important investment than almost anything else. If you're thinking about a website versus wrapping your car, get a website and then wrap your car. That's how important that is. It's just important. So do not skimp on your online presence, your website, your social media posts, your articles, your content. Do not outsource content writing to somebody in another country who doesn't understand the American healthcare system, or maybe doesn't speak English as a second language. Because when they write content, they will spin the content, they will write it from a British English perspective, and it won't sound right. So be very careful where you get your content. Make sure that whoever you're having write for you is writing great content and not just gobbledygook just to get it done. So don't skimp on your online presence. You don't need to spend $10,000 typically on a website. That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is make sure you're dealing with professionals, not Cousin Eddie, not the friend down the street, not the guy who just quit his full-time job and decided to have a side gig of doing websites, because side gigs will go away really quick. So that is my recommendation there. Okay. And if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A section and I will answer them. We're almost done. Clearing up misconceptions about marketing online and in person. 10 common misconceptions related to online marketing. Online marketing is synonymous with computers. Well, it is sort of, but meaning, is it, complicated and technical? It's also everything else in our world. It's Alexa. It's, online marketing is about email. It's about Facebook. It's about TikTok. It's about the content on your website. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a whiz at using a computer. Online marketing is only for big businesses. Absolutely not. Small businesses make a fortune on correct online marketing. Only massive website traffic can make digital marketing successful. Also not true. Not true at all. Everybody in your town gets essentially the same amount of traffic. There's only so many people at one time that are looking for home care. And so you want to be on the first page of Google for some keyword phrases. You do not need massive amounts of traffic. No. Online marketing is not integral to a company's business strategy. This is super false. Should be one of the first things you think about. In fact, the URL, the website address that you choose is really important. So online marketing is part of your company's business strategy. It also should be a part of your exit strategy. The better your online presence is when you exit your business, the more you will get for your business, right? Online marketing is a technical aspect. It does have some technical issues and some things, but if you don't want to do it yourself, you can have someone else do it. You don't have to be a tech head in order to do online marketing. Designing a website is enough for online marketing. Designing a website is not enough. It needs more than that. You need more than that. You need a presence in lots of different places, not just on your website. Optimizing websites for mobile devices is unnecessary. That is 100% false. It is you have to have it. I mean, everybody's on their mobile device. This is pretty much glued to our faces 24/7. So if your website doesn't look good on mobile, you're lost. And Google only cares about mobile now. So the way your website loads on mobile, the way your website looks on mobile, is so important. Criticism on social media is harmful to business. It's only harmful to your business if you don't respond professionally. If you get a bad review and you respond professionally to that review with evidence, and not giving out names, but with evidence to the contrary of whatever that insane, disgruntled person said, then you win. You're not writing a response to a bad review for the person who wrote the review. You're writing the response to the review for the next person who's reading the review. Have you ever gone to VRBO, where you rent a house for the weekend or for a week or whatever at the beach? We do it all the time for our summer vacation. I read all of the reviews, and I can tell by reading the reviews if someone is a nut job. If they're cray-cray, I can tell, because if the owner of the home has replied sincerely and professionally, it makes the person who left the review look like a total idiot. So that's your goal, is to respond professionally. Wait a day. Do not reply in anger. Wait, and then post your reply. If you know that it's false, you know that this is just a friend of someone who just got fired or whatever, then you needed to report it to Google and hope they'll take it down. They don't always. Anyway, no, criticism is not harmful to your business. It is helpful to your business if you respond appropriately. Search engine optimization is a dead concept. Oh no, sister. It is not a dead concept, because that's how we get people to the first page of Google. Online goals and metrics are all that matter. No, online goals and metrics are not all that matter. What actually matters is how many times your phone rings and how many new clients you have this month. That's what matters. Okay, common misconceptions related to online marketing. Again, I don't need a great website. Yes, you do. I don't need a monthly newsletter. Yeah, you do. I don't need a blog or regular content. Yes, you do. Online marketing is only for big businesses. No, I don't know how I have two of these. And the rest are the same. So all these things, yes, you need a great website and a monthly newsletter. All right, in-person marketing, that's the one I'm looking for. All I need to do is drop off brochures and leave. No, you have to form relationships. Do more than drop off brochures and leave. All I need to do is attend a couple of networking meetings. No, you need to be consistent. Show up, get to know people, form relationships. There's no point in dropping off leave behinds each week. Yes, there is. You might not get a referral the first time, but you got to keep going. You got to keep doing. You got to keep being remembered. It has to happen all the time, or it's not worth doing it the first time. I don't have to answer my business phone. I can let it go to voicemail. This is a great one. Answer your phone. Answer your phone. These people are in crisis. Please answer your phone. Don't let it go to voicemail. If you can't answer it, you can't answer it. If you can get a answering service, get an answering service. You have to answer your phone. I don't want to bug people with emails. Yes, you do. Bug them. I don't want to bug people with phone calls. Yes, you do. You need to bug them. My competitor is the enemy. No. Your competitor is another resource to learn from and collaborate with. Think about it that way. I don't have time for community outreach. Then you don't have time to grow your business. I don't want to post my community outreach on social media. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because you need to show other people in your community who couldn't attend that event that you are out there, you are present, that you care about your community, you care about your seniors in your community. Post it. Do it. Okay. Almost my last slide. Are you ready? What startups should focus on in the first year? So this is for all of you who are startups. Get organized and get busy. You may have a full-time job on top of trying to start a home care agency. I totally get it. But if you want this thing to take off, you have to prioritize some time for it. It's just like going back to college. You have to say, I'm going to study tonight, or I'm going to da-da-da-da. You have to prioritize. Remember your why. I interview professionals in the senior care market every week, almost every week. And I ask them, what is one piece of advice that you would give to anybody, other people in the senior care business or the home care business? And this is actually great advice no matter where you are, because it becomes very hard when you're disappointed. Remember your why. Why did you get into this business? Why did you start this in the first place? When you're having a bad day, did you start this business because you saw how your mother was treated or how hard it was for your family to find good care? If that's your why, then keep going. If that means more to you than failure, then keep going. Visit 10 to 15 potential referral sources per week. That's 2 to 3 a day. Go, 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 go. Leave behind more than a brochure and a business card. Yes, please do some little leave behinds that are cute. You don't have to make a big deal out of it. Always leave your brochure or your business card with those. Keep all contact information in a database of some kind. If you don't have a CRM, which is a customer relationship management tool, you're not our client, then put it on an Excel spreadsheet or on a Word document. Do something, but keep everybody's contact information. Form relationships. Don't just drop off your stuff and run away. Form a relationship with that lady that's sitting at the front desk. Find out her name. If she's full-time, she'll be there every time. Find out, what role she plays, ask her some questions, talk about the weather, whatever it is. Form a relationship with her. Tell her why you're there and what you hope for, and that here's a few goodies that I wanted to leave for the staff, or whatever you're doing. Form a relationship with her. Get involved with your community. Look for volunteer opportunities. Participate in senior-related events. There are so many. Go to your area agency on aging and find out what they are. Email potential referral sources weekly. If you can't see them, then email them. Invest in small print and, wait a minute. Small print and big online presence. So invest in a small amount of print so that you always have a business card or a brochure. And then, reorder. If you find you need more than 2 or 3, then reorder. 100. I don't mean 1 or 2. Invest in a small amount of print, but a big online presence. Even if a social worker at a hospital refers you, which they're not supposed to do, they're supposed to give people a list, right? Even if you're on the list, do you know what that adult child is doing? They're going through the list and they're Googling or looking up every single home care agency on that list. They're looking at their website. And you know what? They're sitting next to mom's bed while she's recovering from that hip replacement, and they're on their phone and they're looking this stuff up and they're making phone calls and they're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So invest in a big online presence, because that is where ultimately people are going to look at you and judge your business. Start with your online presence. Okay, wait a minute. What's happening? Here you go. Okay, last slide. Questions and answers. You can visit our website at asnmarketingplan.com. You can get your 12,000 holiday celebrations list. You can take a picture of this, a screenshot of this, and get that free listing on approvedseniornetwork.com/join. Add your free listing and join the Home Care Marketing Mastermind. If you'd like to talk to us every Friday, we have lots of fun with that. All right, I'm going to take questions. So if you have a question, please put it in the Q&A section. Here we go. Can you provide some websites for review? Yes, I can. It says I can type the answer. I'm going to do, let's just say this. Go to asnmarketingplan.com right here on your screen. And I think the second tab over talks about websites. There's an entire website portfolio on our website. So if you go to the second tab over, I think it says website development or something like that, home care websites, I'm not sure. You can go there and look at all the websites, all the different styles. How much do you charge to build a website? Well, that depends on what you need. So there's 2 things I've learned. Never talk about pricing on a webinar, because it's going to change, or it's not appropriate for you. And always make sure that you have a very private but very professional conversation with one of us, so we know what you need versus just selling you something that is not a good fit. We want to only help you with what actually makes sense for you. So there's a contact us page on our website at asnmarketingplan.com. Go to asnmarketingplan.com, click on contact us and fill out that form, and we will give you all the things that you need. But we'd like to talk to you. Just make sure we know what you need first. Are you still recommending in-person marketing during COVID? Many businesses, doctor's office still don't want to come in unless you actually have an appointment. So if you, and there are some hot spots, and I get it, it's going to go in waves for a while. I'm talking about, and there's a whole list of people that you can be marketing to: assisted livings, rehabs, not just doctor's offices. So if doctor's offices don't want you to come in, then try to make an appointment and wear a mask. If they're okay with you coming in, but be sure to wear a mask anywhere you go that's in a healthcare facility type place. Even if you don't have to, it's nice to wear a mask. And if there's no one else wearing a mask in there, take your mask off. But yeah, absolutely. I do recommend in-person marketing during COVID and to be respectful of other people and their businesses. But yes, I would do that. What is your start cost for a website? It depends on what you need. And the last question is, explain CRM. CRM means customer relationship management. So let's see, your Outlook is kind of a CRM. Your Outlook, email Outlook. Gmail is a CRM. It's got somebody's name, their email address. Maybe you've got more than that on them. Our CRM is where you keep all your contacts in there. We can set up direct, automatic emails to go out to people on a weekly basis. It's a place where you can keep track of your leads, your referral sources. It's got a calendar built in. So different CRMs have different functionalities, but a customer relationship management database is basically what it is. And you can get them in a lot of different places. Ours comes with our services, so you don't have to pay extra for it. All right. Does anybody else have any questions? Any questions for me about online marketing, about in-person networking and marketing, print materials, any of that? Anybody? All right. Well, I want to thank you all for coming to the webinar, for visiting with us today. And if you have any questions, be sure to reach out to us on our website at asnmarketingplan.com. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next month. Bye.